Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to the 2-Minute Drill. This is not our debut per se, but it's the debut of our recap show, week number 1 in the NFL. My name is Corbett Thompson. Glad you could be here. For those of you listening at either www.lexy.com or 2-Minute Drill, the number 2, 2minutedrill.lexy.com. So doing something a little different here. We're doing our recap shows on our Facebook page at Lexy 2-Minute Drill. That is facebook.com/Lexy2MD. So the number 2 and then MD as in 2-Minute Drill. So there you have it. Of course, the Sunday night game is over between Washington and Dallas. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, I wanted to run down all of the other scores that happened this past Sunday. But we're going to start with the Thursday game, and so we'll do that right now. Thursday, September the 9th, of course, the season opened up. Minnesota and New Orleans, and the Saints come out on top of that one, 14-9. Drew Brees, 27 of 36, 237 yards with a touchdown, a 101.3 quarterback rating for Brees, and a good way to open up the season for the defending Super Bowl champions. Now we move to Sunday. Miami and Buffalo. The Dolphins come up 15-10 winners over the Bills. First time in 6 tries that the Dolphins have won at Buffalo. They held the Bills to 166 yards on offense. So a good job from the Dolphins there. As I said in our preview show on Thursday, it's September, not December. So the Dolphins able to pull out a win there. Now, Pittsburgh and Atlanta. This one went to overtime, actually. Pittsburgh 15-9 winners over the Falcons. And you can tell that, without Ben Roethlisberger in there, maybe Pittsburgh's not quite the same group, at least offensively anyway. They held the Falcons to 9 points, though. Rashard Mendenhall, the game winner, a 50-yarder in OT, had 120 yards on the day. So Pittsburgh starts off 1-0, trying to hold the fort for Big Ben to come back, sometime, maybe not necessarily week 5, depending on what kind of shape he's in, but, just going forward. Jacksonville and Denver, the Jaguars, 24-17 winners over Denver. Now, in this one, David Garrard, 3 touchdown passes. Jacksonville, of course, having all kinds of issues with blackouts from last year and getting enough fans in the seats, and they're talking about moving. So an imperative win over the Broncos here for Jacksonville, as a franchise, not just as a team, but as a franchise. Now, Indianapolis and Houston, the Texans pull this one off, 34-24 over the Colts. The Texans, who've had all kinds of problems beating Indianapolis in the past, have done it this time. Their second win in 17 tries against Indianapolis, even though Peyton Manning did his usual thing, threw for 433 yards with 3 touchdowns, but it wasn't enough to overcome a 13-0 deficit. So the second win, as I said, over Indy in the last 17 meetings, Arian Foster was a key in this one, 231 yards with 3 touchdowns. Cleveland now, they lose to Tampa Bay, so not a good start for Eric Mangini and Mike Holmgren. It won't do Mangini a lot of favors to keep his job. Tampa Bay wins this one 17-14. Josh Freeman 17-28, 182 yards with a touchdown. So Tampa Bay at least gets that one win there. We'll see how many more they get going forward. The Giants kind of sort of get their revenge over Carolina. 31-18 was the final there. And Hakeem Nicks, 3 touchdown catches for him. Meanwhile, Carolina, Matt Moore, 3 interceptions. So the turnover is just too much to overcome for Carolina. But the Giants, of course, getting a win, their first regular season game at the New Meadowlands. Of course, the Jets will be there on Monday night. New England and Cincinnati, the Patriots. It looked like this was going to be a runaway game. The Patriots jumped out to a 24-0 lead, but they do hold on to beat Cincinnati 38-24. Tom Brady, 3 touchdown passes, so no ill effects from that car accident he had earlier in the week. So New England off to a good start at 1-0, and Chad Johnson and I was going to say Ocho Cinco, but I didn't do it. Chad Johnson and Terrell Owens combined for 200-plus yards, but not enough for the Bengals. Tennessee, 38-13 winners over Oakland, and you're starting to think maybe it's the same old Raiders. New quarterback, same result. But for Tennessee, Chris Johnson, 27 carries, 142 yards with 2 touchdowns, scored 24 unanswered points after trailing 3-0. Chicago 19, Detroit 14. Jay Cutler, 23 of 35 for 372 yards with a pair of touchdowns and a pick. Detroit, they've lost 21 straight on the road, and well, what else can you say? Arizona 17, St. Louis 13. So the Cardinals win that one with going back and forth, but Arizona pulls it off. Derek Anderson, 22 of 41, 297 yards. I have Jake Delhomme on the brain, but anyway, 297 yards for Derek Anderson and a touchdown, including a 21-yard TD pass to Larry Fitzgerald with just under 4 minutes left to win it for the Cardinals. Green Bay and Philadelphia. Green Bay 27-20 winners over the New Look Eagles. Green Bay had 20 unanswered points in this one after trailing 3-0. Meanwhile, Kevin Kolb left this game with a concussion for the Eagles at halftime. Michael Vick took over. He actually ran for 103 yards on the ground, but not enough to keep, to win it for Philadelphia. Now, Seattle and San Francisco, this one, the biggest blowout of the day. Seattle 31-6 winners over the Niners, and you start to have questions about Mike Singletary, but that's another conversation for another day. Seattle scoring 31 unanswered points after San Fran jumped out to a 6-0 lead. First win, of course, for Pete Carroll as the Seahawks head coach. Alex Smith had a pair of interceptions in that one. And then the Sunday night game, Washington upends Dallas 13-7 on the last play of the game, no less. Dallas had a touchdown pass, Tony Romo throwing it, into the right side of the end zone, but it was called back on a holding penalty, and that ended the game. You can't end the game on you can't continue the game on an offensive penalty. So that was it. Miles Austin, 10 catches, 146 yards with a touchdown for the Cowboys, but Washington was able to jump out to a 10-0 lead and hold on. So a win for Donovan McNabb, Mike Shanahan, and company. And, of course, the Monday night games, the Jets and Ravens, and followed by the Chiefs and Chargers. So speaking of Monday night, that brings us to our Monday night contest. For those of you watching this on the Facebook page, right here on this page, you can put your prediction in for the Jets-Ravens game this week, because there's two. There's two this week. So the Jets-Ravens game, winning team, closest score, will get a certificate from me. So that's the prize out there for the Monday night contest. So, you guys, good luck. But in the meantime, that is our recap for week number 1 of the NFL season. Probably not any big time, other than the Washington game. I'd say probably not too many upsets. Only one, looked like maybe one real blowout there with the Seahawks and Niners. But I don't know, a very manila week 1. I don't know. See if you guys agree with me. Just let me know. But 415-322-9919 is the phone number to call. You can press the number 8 to subscribe. Press the number 2 to leave a voice comment. And like I said, tell me if you guys agree whether or not there was any big surprises in this week 1. I don't know. I don't get the feeling that there were hardly any, really. Like I said, except the Washington game. But maybe Tampa Bay getting their first win over Cleveland. Some people probably aren't surprised by that. But you guys let me know. But anyway, as I said, there's the phone number. If you are listening, of course, on Lexy.com, you can do it over the phone or through the website. So either way. But in any event, so that takes care of our Season 2 maiden voyage. So we'll be back on Thursday with week number 2. And, of course, Indianapolis and the Giants play next Sunday night. So we'll focus on Manning versus Manning a little bit. But in the meantime, until next week, this is Corbin Thompson. Good night. Godspeed. Thanks for listening to 2MD.